Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, get into some TA. All right, guys, so as you probably saw, we did have a very strong day over here on SPY and QQQ. The overall market had a very strong day. And I am just going to remind everyone what we talked about in the weekly update. These weekly candles do not suggest immediate downside. We can get a pullback, but it's probably going to be a brief pullback. And I still stand by that right now. All right, see how this is a wide-bodied green bar with heavy volume? Well, what do we get on the daily time frame today? We got a wide-bodied bar with heavy volume. All right, these literally do not suggest immediate downside. They just don't. We're eventually going to get that pullback, but I don't think it's going to be just yet. I'm going to be transparent on that one. All right, we do have an upper wick over here in SPY. We have a small upper wick. So, guys, if we do get a pullback, be watching 544.12. That is what you're paying attention here over here on SPY. That was the high of this 3-day range. You just broke out from that range. I do think this push is going to continue higher until it reaches at least 550, all right? The 550 cycle level, I think that will be hit on this run, all right? Keep in mind, bullish, larger time frame equals you are bullish biased, okay? Pullbacks are buying opportunities until the structure changes. The structure was bullish off of this break and retest. It was bullish off that break and retest. Right here, you were basing above the previous high. And now you've launched. You've ascended into the sky. And then you based for another 3 days. All right, you had that range going on here. You broke to the upside of that range. If you come back into it, we look for buyers there. All right, so I'm going to make this real simple for us today on the indices. All right, SPY, guys, I'm looking for the 550 cycle level. I'm going to put that level on right over here. All right, we're going to mark that right here. Just like that. That is Henry's target. All right, and on the downside, all we're paying attention to is going to be 544.12. If you come back into 544.12, you expect buyers there. They don't have to show up, but it's an extreme high probability that they do. Just like they showed up over here on the break and retest, it's likely they show up here on the break and retest as well, at least for a dead cat bounce. All right, so it would look something like that if it was going to be a dead cat bounce. All right, and from this point, we would do this. Let's say today was your high. You pull back down here. You expect sellers to step in right over there in the golden pocket. Now, I don't think that's likely. If you pull back and you retest here, maybe you get a double bottom off that or something like that. All right, then I think you're going to come all the way up to 550. That is the next psychological level. Just like we went straight up to 540 over here. You gapped up. All right. You actually pulled back. You found buyers off of 540. It's just not a bad look, guys. It's not a bad look at all. So, yeah, look for buyers over there at 544.12. I'm going to, make it very simple there. I will point out, all right, there is no bearish divergence over here on this chart. There's not, which opens up the door for you getting a pullback, all right, pullback. And then you go back up, maybe over the next few trading sessions. And then from there, all right, so it would look like that. And then, boom, you explode higher. And as you explode higher, you're going to have a higher high and a lower high over here on the oscillator. 15-minute RSI. That is what I like paying attention to. You don't have to pay attention to that oscillator, but that is what I use for my momentum oscillator to spot my divergences. So I like it. You could like it too, all right? And we definitely cover it every day here on this channel. So if you don't know how to use it, I will teach you the way. All right. But as far as this daily time frame goes, guys, this is not a bearish look. It's really not. You have the heavy volume. The daily RSI is now at 76. All right. Let's just put a horizontal line here and let's just point out. All right. You get these pullbacks. It's likely just to be short-lived and then you go up to a new high. All right. You had the pullback from this day when you hit this, level on the RSI. You did pull back a few bucks here, okay? Less than 0.7%, all right? For in current, you see that 0.7%. That would be like about $3.50 right now. And then you went up another $5. If we go up another $5 from right here, we're going over 550. So that's what I'm watching for. That's really it. Now coming over here to QQQ, same look. All right, except you didn't have that range developing. But again, on this weekly time frame, this is a big fat green stick. They hit it with a stick last week. These things are like parabolic looking sticks. Okay, they don't suggest immediate downside. They can suggest we might put in a candlestick like this, maybe like this, but you still go a little higher. All right, you still go a little higher, which I'm just gonna say proceed with caution up here. I wouldn't be taking out any new longs on the indices up here. I really wouldn't. I'm gonna point out some trade ideas that you could be paying attention to in the second part of this video. But as of these indices, I mean, hey, unless you're being in and out on you know, intraday there, in smaller time frames, then you know, I just wouldn't be touching it. It's best not to touch it. You don't have a reason to. Over here, you got pretty close to where you are right now. You had one more day of up, you gapped up, and then you closed out with a bearish candlestick, and you got this pullback. It was an $11 pullback. All right. From that high, though, over the next, you know, month, you did continue another $17 higher. That could be what we get here. Okay. It could literally just, you know, blow everybody's minds how it just pulls back a little bit and then keeps going. All right. So on that pullback, what levels are we going to be paying attention to? Let's mark them right here. Okay, 465.75. That is what I'm going to be paying attention to over there. Then here, I'm going to be paying attention to 476.50, all right? So I understand. $11 would be over here. We have a very freaking extended run right here, okay? So I would not be surprised to see that in the end, okay? I would not. But I'm also going to say we don't have any bearish signs yet. We literally don't have any bearish signs. So if you are getting bearish on this market right now, I don't know what to tell you. It's not a bearish look. You're definitely overextended. I pointed that out over the last few trading sessions. Okay. In the weekly update, I definitely said like this weekly candlestick does not suggest immediate downside. So I don't know, guys. And then we got IWM. Let's talk about IWM right when we finish this up. Okay. Uptrend. That is also something you could be paying attention to. Let's say you hit it tomorrow. It's going to be around 480. All right. 480 to 482, depending on where you hit it tomorrow. Okay. If it happens, I'm not saying it happens. You still don't have a bearish divergence here on this 15-minute, you know, RSI up here. You just don't. Okay. This thing can continue higher. It can. You have another level right there, 478.39 to be paying attention to. It's the high over there. Okay. If you really are going to see something bearish play out here, probably going to go something like that. Okay? That is what I would be paying attention to. Or you have a straight free fall, all right? We're going to know when things turn bearish, guys. We are going to know. You're going to get a big fat red bar or a spinning top or a shooting star candlestick. It's going to be in the candlesticks. This is not something that suggests immediate downside. It's not. Okay, so I'll be real with you guys. All right, I'm gonna read these unbiased. I was looking for a pullback. Well, guess what? All right, we also knew we had to be bullish biased because what the heck is this thing? All right, I gave my warnings. Gave my warnings. I think it was on Friday. Definitely in the weekly update. Like, hey, I don't think anybody has a reason to bet the farm on the short side. I definitely don't. I think it's, you know, it's not the best idea. I would treat it like another trade. Okay, if you lose, you lose. It's fine. Now, where are you going to cut that? IWM. Buyers continuously stepping up over here at the 0.618 fib. You found them right here. You found them right here. You found them right here. We know where they are. All right. You closed out with a bullish engulfing candlestick off of mediocre volume. We're not going to call it heavy volume, but we'll say it's all right for what we got. I'm just saying this thing looks like it's going to continue higher. I will reference what I have been referencing over here on the 4-hour RSI. You have a large bullish divergence going on here. A large bullish divergence. Technically, it still hasn't played out. I consider these played out when you have came all the way up to the top of the oscillator. You have not. All right? I will continuously look for buyers, and I will be buying these dips if I see this RSI down here. That's where I like it. That's where, you know, that's where you want to do your dip buying over here on IWM and most tickers. That's where you want to be doing your dip buying. They're strong tickers that are heavily traded by the market participants. Okay? That is when you want to do them. People are watching that. All right? Come down to the 15-minute time frame. Let's point it out. Right now, you're basing above the previous high over here. Okay, so this was your high from not yesterday, but Friday's candlestick. You're now getting buyers on top of that. You are bullishly basing on top of that. To me, it looks like this thing's probably going to continue higher. It does. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. You're actually flagging on top. Yeah, you're basing, but you're flagging on top. I also found buyers in the 15-minute 9 EMA, something I also like to watch. All right, really does not look all that bad to me. I think you're going to continue higher. The next level to be paying attention to is going to be at 201.78. That is the low of this candlestick right there. Above there, what are you paying attention to? High of that candlestick, 203.54. Obviously, above there, you're coming straight for the hills, all right? I don't think it's going to happen, but, you know, there's that. If we see a wild move out of IWM like this gap up over here, guys, you take your profits on that move, okay? And you wait to run it back. We're getting a chance to run it back here on IWM, just like we did over here, right? That's why you take the profits on that. And if you see it again, you know what to do. And that's that. I will continuously remind you of that. All right? No financial advice will be given here on this channel. But I definitely will do my best to scratch all of your backs because you guys scratch my back every day and I like it. All right? You like me scratch your back, I'll scratch your back. All right? I appreciate you guys heavily. DIA. Finding buyers off of the golden pocket as well, 0.618 fib. And now here in the weekly time frame so far, you got a bullish engulfing candlestick. I don't know how this is going to close out, but it's not necessarily the worst look. All right? I still would say this is sloppiest of the bunch. Okay? I would avoid it. I would not touch this thing. But, you know, you didn't have a bearish close today. So I will point that out. Buyers are stepping up. Come over here to Mr. VIX. I will point out you got this little inverse head and shoulders pattern going on. I don't know how this is necessarily going to play out. But VIX to me looks like it's getting ready to move up. I'm just going to be honest on that one. All right? Just going to read these unbiased charts, guys. You're getting above this daily 9. All right? You're holding above it so far. I like the look of it. I do. Okay? So just, you know, keep it on your radar. Mr. VIX over here. You break this neckline over here, things could get spicy. And that is when you get your pullback over there in Spine QQ. I told you guys, we're going to know when things are turning bearish. They're not bearish yet. Not just yet. All right, let's go over some of the big boys. Microsoft did end up hitting 447 right over here. So it did hit this, you know, 1.382 fib extension. The next one is going to be the 1.618. All right. But you also hit the 450 cycle level and sold off today. You also have that increasing volume on the day. We're going to take that off now. I'm going to remind everyone, this is a fresh breakout from this inverse head and shoulders pattern that took quite a time. 83 days. There's almost 3 months to develop. Quite some time to develop. Now you're moving higher. I was hoping you got the pullback. You didn't get the pullback. You just kind of exploded. All right. Not looking bad here on the weekly chart. It looks like, you know, this thing could have some legs. 457 could be incoming over here on Microsoft. Again, you watch for buyers on that pullback. But now, since you did this move and you broke out from this 3-day range, guess what? 443.40 is going to be a break and retest. That is your resistance flip support. You expect buyers at 443.40. Goog. Still holding the uptrend over here, but I'll just remind everyone what I've been saying. This is the sloppiest of the bunch over here, just like DIA is on the indices. This of the Magnificent Seven is the sloppiest of the bunch that I would say avoid it while it's in this range. If you can get a daily close above 179.95, I think these levels are going to be in play. That's that. Meta, you're holding the daily 9 EMA. You're getting sellers right here at resistance, just like you did over there. And here. If you can get a daily close above that level, 523.86 to 531.49 would be in play. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think, you know, it's the best to play it long right before, you know, right when it's underneath resistance. I don't think that's worth it. All right. But if you get that pullback to 482.50, that is a sexy setup. Amazon, bullish engulfing candlestick. All right. You get this wide bodied doji candlestick going on here. Increasing volume. Buyers stepped up today. They did. They stepped early. You see that freaking alert? You got so close to my alert. You did not hit it. Such a troll. It's okay. It's okay. I was hoping we get that pullback over there. I'll point out a setup that did give me that though. All right. But yeah, Amazon over here, guys. You're just watching these levels. All right. 182.24, 184.08, 187.31. That is where you're looking for sellers and buyers. You watch on the smaller time frames around those levels. You see how you flipped that, went higher. You're still finding buyers right there. Okay. Expect buyers and sellers on these levels. These are where the action is going to take place. That is that. SMH. Let's talk about some chips. Guys, this thing does not suggest immediate downside again. All right. You just kind of range out here again. What are we watching? Bottom of the range could very well be 268.14. All right. This is going to be the high of the last candlestick like this off of that increasing volume. Well, heavy volume, we're going to call it, because you've had heavy volume for a while in this push. On the weekly chart, this thing is bullish. Does not suggest immediate downside. All right. It's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious. We're going to go over some individual chip names as well. Obviously, you know, if that level is given up, what are we going to watch on the downside? We're going to watch the high of that candlestick right there. If 264.55 is given up, then you watch 255.92. As far as I'm concerned, this thing is very likely going higher. But I will also say it's extended here. I would focus on the individual chip names. NVIDIA. All right. Didn't show the most strength today. I will point that one out. You did have a red to green move, but by the end of the day, you finished red. You have a little volume today. You're still just watching this channel. I wouldn't be going long up here. Again, no financial advice will be given here on this channel, but I will gladly share my opinion 6 days a week. All right. Monday through Friday, we get the daily update. And then, you know, we got the weekly update on Saturday. There's that. All right, guys. But let's just go over what you're paying attention to here on the downside. 125.59. That's the high of this over here. You broke above that, and now you're just kind of ascending into the heavens. All right. Come down here, it's probably going to, you know, align with the bottom of this trend line. If you come down tomorrow, maybe print a hammer off there. All right. But let's say that level's given up. That's when you're watching all the way down here, 115.82. Underneath that, 106.48. Moving on to SMCI, showing the strength today, baby. All right. So I did mention in the weekly update that I liked how this thing looked. I'm not going to be touching this thing because this thing trolled me. I'm going to wait for the next setup. All right. I'll let you all know when I see the next setup. But it ain't right now. I do think this thing is probably queuing up. You've now hit TP1 and TP2, supposed to be, on the June 21st, 950C. I liked it. I now, you know, I hate the thing. I don't hate the thing. But it went without me. And I was definitely the one calling for a $100 day right around the corner. It just took another week. I was like, crap. That's why I had some time. But next time, I'm just going to get the July. Well, it's not going to be July next time. Setup, you know, happens. But I'm going to buy like 50, 60 days out on this instead of the 30 days out I did. All right. That is my plan. But yeah, SMCI, guys, you broke and retested off of, you know, 835.66 to the 845.24 zone over here, your breakout zone. And now you've headed up to this next take profit level at 909.65. Above 909.65. It's tongue twister. You're heading up to 972.31. All right. Ultimately, I think this thing heads right up here into the golden pocket, 1,000 to 1,100 bucks. MU. All right. MU is another one that doesn't suggest immediate downside. You got a hammer candlestick. All right. You get a pullback. It's probably going to be eaten. Let's talk about where that pullback could be to. Over here at 144.22. If you don't hold there, what are you going to be paying attention to? 139.65. If you don't hold there, 135.85. There you go. I had a little hiccup there. Moving on to TSM. Break and retest. Another one that's not looking too shabby. You just keep hitting it with the break and retest. You got your last one over right here. Oh, can we get a horizontal ray going? There we go. You got the one before that right off of the 160.78 level. Let's make that a red level now that you've, you know, ascended into the heavens over here. Break and retest off the break and retest off the break and retest off the break and retest. You got a 1, you got a 2, you got a 3, you have a 4. This thing's looking freaking phenomenal. All right. I think it does continue higher. I can't tell you how much higher. I really can't. I don't know. I know, taking the fib extensions from this move to here, you've already hit those. So I don't know. All right. But it's not bearish. I'm telling you guys, these things, these looks that we got, they're not bearish. ARM. You're consolidating right above the previous all-time, or right below the previous all-time high. It looks like you want to break it. All right. If you pull back here, you look for buyers there. Probably right here on this uptrend. I'll be watching that one. And then for move to a new all-time high. There's that. But you also could just, all the other chips and go up to a new all-time high. This thing doesn't look bad. All right. Now let's talk about Henry's trade ideas for you. Okay. Oxy. I think this thing is getting ready. It's just my opinion, but I think it looks amazing. I'm going to point out right here, crude futures. This thing looks amazing too. If this thing looks amazing, this is going to carry Oxy and ZOM. All right. Speaking of ZOM, you're coming down to that 0.618 fib. If you test it, and really if you test over here at 104.88, I love it. All right. I love it right here. I think you're definitely going to find buyers here. You got a lot of action going on right here. It's going to be in the golden pocket, baby. It's going to look real good. Daily RSI is getting oversold, so there is a solid shot. You do not get down there. All right? You tag this 0.618 fib at 106.50, you might want to buy that thing. No financial advice. All right? But this thing is not showing the strength as this thing is hitting it with a heavy volume break and retest. All right? You based above the broken down trend, and now you're looking like you're about to go. Above 80.62 on crude futures. Where you watch it for next? There we are. 84.46. I don't think this thing looks bad at all. Come on, man. This magnet is my best friend, but it's also my worst enemy. There you go. All right. Look for sellers in the golden pocket. 0.786 fib, specifically at 84.46. There's that. All right. I really like how the thing's looking. IBM. Fresh breakout from this downtrend. I like what I'm seeing. You come over here, the hourly time frame. Okay. I would have liked a stronger close over here, over this 169.47 level. Nonetheless, I like the look of that daily chart. Okay. I think 170.76, 172.47, and 174.97 are going to be in play. You have like a bull pennant going on here. I like it. All right. Put it on the radar. You get that increasing volume with the hammer candlestick. Buyers are continuously stepping up over here. I think this thing is getting ready to launch. That's that. So far, guys, we got exactly what we talked about. This was the potential, hammer candlestick. You would have, I was saying you would have gapped down to the 641 level, and then you would have sold intraday down to like 630, and then you would have gone bought back up. And that would have effectively put in a hammer candlestick, would have swept low over here, swept support, got sellers involved, and then boom, that is what you want to see. That's your sign of strength. You don't have, heavy volume going on there, but I do like what I'm seeing. All right, maybe it consolidates out here for a little bit. Maybe we see something like this. You go up a little bit, come down a bit, all right, higher low, and then you break above this high right here. That's going to put in a ugly double bottom. There's your neckline. And then from there, maybe we come back up to test that trend line. I like what I'm seeing. Tesla. I'm not going to tell anybody to play this thing because thing's a freaking monster in both directions, all right? It's a troll. But I will, continuously say what I've been saying, all right? This was the break and retest right here. This is also just the right shoulder, and you have a large inverse head and shoulders pattern. I think, all right, it's heading up to this golden pocket. If you can break that downtrend right there, you watch for 198.87 all the way up to 205.60. That is going to be the supply zone that I will be paying attention to. That is that. All right, guys. Now, I didn't mention this with the other chips. I think this is beautiful. This is also exactly what we were looking for. This is, pretty much exactly. I'm hyped. I'm also disappointed in myself that I only took a starter on this one and I didn't take a full position. I would have loved this. I also was planning on taking shorter dated cons off that 0.618 fib. I did not do that either. All right. But I will point out over here. All right. Let's find the focus list right there. Let's come over there. There you go. AMD, I'm looking for a sweep off the bottom of the 30-day range has been in. Ideally, we get a hammer candlestick that wicks down to the 0.618 fib at 154.30 and then can take an entry there. I'm freaking tight that I didn't take that full position. I'm going to be completely honest, guys. All right. Now, real quick, guys, if you would like to come trade with us, all right, if you are, if you struggle in this market, if you do not know where there's action, I will continuously give you action each and every week. If that is something you want, the link will be down below. I put out a morning brief every single morning. I provide the focus list every Sunday going into the week. So we always have setups that we are paying attention to. Obviously, I'll call out, other stuff that I'm seeing throughout the week, but that's, our weekly prep. So we always know where some action is going into the week. All right. And then I think the most valuable portion of that is going to be the intraday updates. So if you're someone who trades SPY, QQQ, or ES and NQ, or IWM, of course, all right, you do get the morning brief. So you know what to be paying attention to throughout the day, what, the outlook is, as well as all of the intraday updates at pivotal points. All right. I will hold your hand throughout the day with the intraday analysis. All right. So link will be down below and go check that out if you'd like. Now back to the show. All right, guys, AMD over here, guys, you can see now that we've swept that low, we have the 30 freaking day range. This thing is ready to rumble. All right. In my personal opinion, this thing is ready to rumble. I do think this is about to be moving and grooving. All right. It could dance around here for a little while, like right over here, but I think it's much more like we start seeing this thing move back to the upside and test this downtrend over here. And from there, guys, you can see the gray levels, 158.62 above there. You're watching 162.66 above there. You're watching 165.86. As I already read, I think this is going to result in a move back up to 172.49. Okay, you can literally see right there. There is your 4-to-1 trade idea. So yeah, guys, I think this thing is real sexy. Out of all the chips, I think this thing has the most upside potential. I think this thing does have the best setup. This has been a lagger, and I think we're about to see it play some catch up. Just my opinion. Doesn't have to happen, but here I just laid out the thesis for you guys. So there you go. Have fun with it. All right, guys. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for taking the time to come here and hang out with me and do some market preparation going into the next day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy the video, you found some value in the video, please make sure to remember to hit the like button. And if you do have anybody else in your life, I know not many of us have the trader friends in real life. We got the online trader friends, but guess what? If you do have one of those people, or if you just have some online friends like me, please, if you think they will find value in this video, please feel completely free to share this video with them. All right, it would help us spread the word about this channel and get out to more people. And then we grow our kick butt corner of YouTube over here to a slightly bigger kick butt corner of YouTube. And eventually will be a large little space in the YouTube space, all right? Because YouTube's massive. But, this niche we're in, it's really not all that big. So eventually we're going to be a big fish over here, and we're going to have a large trading community. And I am excited for that. And I'm also excited just to continue to move forward step by step with you guys. All right, guys, with that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of their day. All right, of your day and their day and all of our days. All right, I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.